Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And today we're going to help you with your listening comprehension ability in English. Today we're talking about trends, and we're talking about something called pop-up stores. Now, I've heard of pop-up ads on the computer. They're very annoying, and I guess some software has kind of gotten rid of that problem. We don't really see pop-up ads so much anymore, but now we're talking about something called pop-up stores.
Yeah, there are also pop-up restaurants. For those of you who like cooking shows like I do, you know what a pop-up restaurant is. A chef will go in to a space and set up, kind of a temporary restaurant for maybe a week or maybe even a couple months, and then it's gone. Try out their concept. Well, these are stores that kind of show up one day. They sell some goods for a while, and the next month, maybe even the next week, they're gone. To pop up means to suddenly appear. To pop up.
Is that similar to those food trucks? Is that kind of the same thing?
No, food truck's different, yeah.
Food trucks basically can go anywhere, but they're not really pop-up stores.
Pop-up they're actually on real estate. They're on land. They can't just move around, but they're in a temporary location, you can say, and then they're gone.
And I think they're quite common here in Taiwan. So, of course, these are very important in the world of commerce and consumerism. So that's why we're going to talk about it today. So let's get to it. Let's talk about pop-up stores here today, gone tomorrow. Here's the entire contents of our lesson read from top to bottom. You're walking through the shopping district of your town when you happen upon a store that wasn't there the previous week. You stop and stare as it's jam-packed with people. What's more, a sign says the shop will only be open for another month. Realizing you've come across a pop-up store, you decide it's definitely worth going in for a look. A pop-up store or pop-up shop is a shop that opens and shuts down in a brief period, which could be anything from a single day to 3 months. During that time, the store sells merchandise from food and drinks to furniture and designer clothing, and everything in between. The trend has been rising in large urban cities since the 1990s, and the industry has sold an estimated $10 billion worth of goods. There are a number of advantages to pop-up stores. For one thing, the prices are generally lower than regular stores, and for another, they often sell goods that are unobtainable elsewhere. The shopping experience itself is also unique. Pop-up stores are equally attractive to retailers because they can sell lots of stock in a short time, try out new product lines, and generate brand awareness. Customers are often excited by the idea of pop-up stores and are motivated by a fear of missing out. Hence, they are more likely to spend money at a pop-up store than a store that's open all year round. One successful example of a pop-up store was when Nike launched its Air Max Zero sneakers. Though it was only a 3-day event, Nike attracted thousands with a futuristic-looking shop, plus live displays of painting and shoe cleaning. Many other big companies such as eBay and Gap have used pop-up stores to great effect. So if you spot one during a shopping trip, don't miss out.
Okay, folks, we're going to be talking about a new trend, pop-up stores. They're here today and gone tomorrow. Now, in my neighborhood, I live around Heping, Dunhua. I go on long walks to exercise. I walk a lot. And sometimes I'll walk down the street. Dunhua has that line of beautiful trees in the middle of the street. It does. It's gorgeous. I walk amongst the trees. Anyway, sometimes I'll look over and, there will be a new store. But oftentimes these pop-up stores, they don't look like they're permanent. They look very temporary. For example, on Dunhua, there is a store that sells bedding. Bedding includes sheets for your bed, pillows, pillowcases, even towels for the bathroom, things like that. Wow, they have great deals, Tom. I went in one day and I got a new comforter for my bed, new sheets, new pillowcases. It was wonderful. It's a pop-up store.
Indeed, and of course you kind of have to chance upon those pop-up stores and make sure they've got what you want. There was such a store in Mujia one time. I was going there to eat, and I saw this store. They were selling shoes, and I went in just to take a look, and I found some shoes that, hey, those shoes would be perfect for freestyle soccer.
Were they on sale?
Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't really care if they were on sale or not, because for me, I feel I'm lucky if I can find the right kind of shoes in my size, okay?
Right.
Size 12 or whatever. Those are kind of hard to find,
right.
so I was happy whatever the price was. I'm sure it was pretty reasonable.
Cool.
But in any case, these are some examples of pop-up stores, but they're temporary. Here today, gone tomorrow. That's a phrase we use to describe when something is temporary. Well, life is like this. It's here today, gone tomorrow. Make the best of your days. Now, here's a possible situation. Like maybe you were walking along Dunhua South Road, but here you might be walking through the shopping district of your town when you happen upon a store that wasn't there the previous week. If you happen upon something, that means you just kind of come across that thing unexpectedly. You weren't expecting to find it, but there it was. Hey, the other day I came upon an interesting old house. I hadn't seen it before. I took out my camera and took some pictures.
Now here, this person is actually walking through the shopping district of a town. There are lots of different districts in a city or a town. It's a particular area that usually has its own characteristic or style. For example, I could tell you about New York City. We had the meat district where there were a lot of butchers. We had the fashion district that was down south. We had the theater district where all the Broadway shows are. You could go into a neighborhood, a district, and know what you were going to find. There was even a perfume district that you could go and get perfume for wholesale prices. So there are different districts in all of our towns. Now in Taipei, where we live, there are lots of districts that have been assigned a name by the government. For example, I live in Da'an district. There's Xini district. There are lots of different districts. And they all have their own personalities.
Yeah, different districts in each of the big cities here in Taiwan. Now they use that word to talk about all sorts of areas, since now Taipei Xian is now Xinbei Shi. So what used to be Xindian City is now Xindian District. So that's kind of confusing to me. I liked the way it was before, but in any case here, this is a shopping district, maybe the east part of Taipei or something like that.
Yeah.
And you happen upon a store, it wasn't there last week, and you stop and stare as or because it's jam-packed with people. So you stare, that means you look at something for a long time to try to figure out what it is. I'm from a small town in Iowa, so every time I go back there, I hate it because people always stare at you. They're so bored in small towns that all they can do is stare at people if you come from out of town. We used to call it Staresville because they keep looking at us.
Oh, wow.
What's the matter with you people? Get a life. But here, to stare at something means to look a long, long time at something because you're interested in it.
Yeah, that's right. It's jam-packed. If it's jam-packed, it means it's very crowded. You can't get any more people or anything else in that small space. It's jam-packed with people. What's more, a sign says the shop will only be open for another month. This is common because they're very temporary. So usually they have things for good prices. They're bargains. Or things are on sale, so you want to grab it while you can because it might be gone, next week. Now, realizing you've come across a pop-up store, you decide it's definitely worth going in for a look. To come across something is very similar to happen upon something or someone. You don't plan it. It just happens. You just kind of run into somebody or run into something. You come across it. You didn't know it was there, but whoo! Behold, it's right there in front of your eyes, and it's definitely or really worth going in and taking a look because you might find something you really like inside.
Okay, the next paragraph tells us what a pop-up store is. A pop-up store, or you can also call it a pop-up shop. This is a shop that opens and shuts down in a brief period, a short period of time, which could be anything from a single day to 3 months. Of course, here in Taiwan, we all kind of know how long they stay open. Yeah, maybe a couple weeks, maybe a month or two or something like that. And during that time, the store sells merchandise, and we're talking about a range of merchandise here, from food and drinks to furniture and designer clothing and everything in between. So here we've got the word merchandise. That just refers to goods to be bought and sold. And I'm imagining that our dear students out there might be tempted to add an S to this word if you're talking about lots of things to buy. But no, this is a non-count noun, merchandise. They sell a lot of merchandise at that store. Do not add an S to it. It's incorrect. So in any case, merchandise just refers to products that can be purchased in a store. And we're talking about a range here from food and drinks. Okay, if you're hungry or you're thirsty, you can have those things. From food and drinks to furniture and designer clothing. Furniture could be sofas, tables, chair, etc. And again, don't add an S to this word furniture. It's still a non-count noun.
Yeah.
Designer clothing is special clothing that has been designed by a designer, especially if they're from France or Italy. Those are highly sought after items.
Or Jason Wu, who is a very famous designer from Taiwan.
There you go. Designers come from all over the place. And then you've got everything in between. Everything in between those two extremes.
Yeah, it kind of includes everything that you haven't mentioned specifically. I wanted to mention merchandise is kind of a weird word because if we use the noun form merchandise, most of us say it with an S, but you'll often hear people say merchandising. We won't say merchandising. It's weird.
Yep.
So you can hear, oftentimes you'll hear this word with a Z, merchandise. Merchandise to the verb form or the gerund form, the verb ing. Merchandising. So you've got everything kind of that you want. It's funny how these pop-up stores just have a wide variety of things that will just show up. Now, the trend to having these pop-up stores has been rising or going up in large urban cities since the 1990s. And if you live in Taipei, you know we're a very large urban city. Now, urban just refers to a city that has a lot of people, a lot of stores usually. We're in the urban district. I think Taipei is very similar to New York, though, because we have stores and people's apartments mixed together. But a lot of cities, at least in America, will have stores in the urban part of the city, and then as you go out, there will be homes in the suburbs.
Yeah, some cities have zoning where one part of the city is for industrial purposes,
right.
Other parts are residential, commercial, etc. But in this case, urban cities, or basically just cities, urban areas, they've sold an estimated $10 billion worth of goods. We don't have an exact figure, so we have an estimate or an estimated amount of goods. That's how much they think has been sold in those pop-up stores since the 1990s. Okay, that brings us to the midway point here. Let's take a time out and listen to our Chinese teacher.
Hello everyone, my name is Tina. 今天我们要介绍的是 pop-up stores, 中文解释成为快闪商店。我们先来看到在第一个空格前面的句子提到 You stop and stare as it's jam-packed with people. 可能走在路上看到这家店，所以你就停下来仔细看着这间店，因为里面挤满了人。延续这样的句意，第一个空格后面的句子提到 Realizing you've come across a pop-up store, you decide it's definitely worth going in for a look. 结果发现呢，其实你遇到了一间叫做快闪店，那么决定值得进去看一看。那么我们第一题可以选择 C 选项里面提到 What's more, a sign says The shop will only be open for another month. 在这里提到的是，除此之外，站在店门外凝视许久，还看到标志上写着呢，这家商店只会开1个月而已，所以就符合我们今天的 pop-up stores 快闪店的精髓。所以呢，发现哇，原来是遇到了 a pop-up store， 当然要进去看一看咯。所以第一题我们可以选择 sentence C 为我们的正确答案。在第二个空格是第二段的一刚开始，我们需要注意的是，有时候呢，在前一段的最后一句 就是为下一段呢的主题来做一个引进跟介绍。所以在第一段的最后一句提到了 pop-up store， 我们当然要让大家了解一下 pop-up store 到底指的是什么。所以第二题我们可以选择 Sentence A， 在这里呢对 pop-up store 做了一个解释。Sentence A 提到 A pop-up store or pop-up shop is a shop that opens and shuts down in a brief period, which could be anything from a single day to 3 months. 这种店啊，它可能呢是在很短的期间才营业，有时候可能只有1天，甚至长达到3个月。OK， 所以呢，你可以了解到，这就是我们称它为快闪店的原因咯。而延续这样的文意，我们再用后面的句子来确认。后面的句子一刚开始提到 during that time， 在那一段期间，没错，就是在 sentence A 里面提到的 from a single day to 3 months， 不管是1天或是3个月，在这段期间卖的商品是非常多的，都是有可能贩卖的，所以第二题的标准答案就选择 A 选项。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, let's move on here and continue talking about basically what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
We're talking about pop-up stores, and I guess they started in the 1990s. Although I've lived in Taiwan for quite some time, and it seems that they've been here longer than that. It's kind of an old tradition here in Taiwan. But let's talk about pop-up stores and why you might want to consider going to one or opening one yourself. There are a number of advantages or good points to pop-up stores. Good reasons why you might want to open one or go to a pop-up store. For one thing, one possible reason or advantage is that the prices are generally lower than regular stores. Okay, that's probably true. That's one incentive to get people to go there because you don't have to pay so much.
Yeah, that's been my experience. Usually I'll go in because I know they have great bargains. And I have to tell you, I got my duvet from my bedspread, my sheets for a great price, and it's so pretty. So I will go in if I have time. I'll just run in real fast to see what they have. Because I can't pass up a bargain, Tom. I really can't. And some of these places have items or products or goods that you just can't get anywhere else. For example, our article says they often sell goods that are unobtainable. That means you can't get your hands on them anywhere else. So they're kind of fun for us.
There are a number of products that are unobtainable because they just don't import them into Taiwan for us foreigners, for example. Or if you immigrate to another country, some things you are used to here in Taiwan will just be unavailable to you, unobtainable there, and you'll just have to learn to live without them. But sometimes these things do show up or pop up in these pop-up stores. And the shopping experience itself is also unique. Unique here just means very special. It's one of a kind. It's something you're not going to encounter anywhere else. You're just not going to have that kind of shopping experience. It's something that you will remember for the rest of your life.
Pop-up stores are equally attractive to retailers because they can sell lots of stock in a short time, try out new product lines, and generate brand awareness, which is what I think Nike and Gap and eBay did further along in the article. We'll talk about that. So let's look at some of these words. If it's attractive, it is interesting to you, and it gets you to pay attention. You focus on it. Here we're saying these stores are attractive to retailers. Who are retailers? Those are the people actually selling the products. Not the people buying, but the people selling. So why are they very attractive to these people doing business, these merchandisers? Well, because they can sell a lot of stock in a short amount of time. Stock just means a lot of product. notice here, stock does not have an S on it, guys. It's non-count. So we're out of stock. If you see that sign in a store in the United States, it means, sorry, they're sold out. 卖完了.
Or you might have to order it or something.
Yeah, you might have to. And they can also try out new product lines, maybe to see if people are interested. If it doesn't sell well, then they won't import any more of that item. Or they also can use these pop-up stores to generate or create brand awareness when they want people to really focus in on their hot brand like Nike or Gap.
To create brand awareness. So yes, indeed, they can try this out to get people interested. And if people do buy enough of those products, then they might expand to regular stores. And customers are often excited by the idea of pop-up stores. Yes, if I see a pop-up store, I get really excited. Boy, do I want to go in there and try it out. Try out some new products or try to find something in my size or whatever. Get a great deal. And people are motivated by a fear of missing out. Okay, if you're motivated, that means you just have some motivation or reason to do something. And this does happen. I think this is also the reason why people spend so much time on their phones all day long, is they have this fear of missing out. If somebody is posting things on Facebook or sending line messages and you don't see those for several hours, you're going to feel like you're just out of touch with things. Everybody else knows about this, but you don't. So everybody's constantly checking their phones because they don't want to miss out.
Yeah, if you miss out, you miss an opportunity to have fun or to get a good deal, something like that. It's also why people stand in line when a new restaurant opens or a new store opens.
Yeah, that happened when the Mr. Donut shops opened for the first time way back in, 2006 or so?
Or even Krispy Kreme. We had 4-hour line donuts. It's crazy enough.
Wow.
Hence, or therefore, because of what we've just told you, they are more likely to spend money at a pop-up store than maybe a department store that they shop in all year round, which makes sense. If you think there's a sale, you just feel like, oh, if I don't buy it now, I'll never get it at this price again. That is a very, very smart way to get people to spend money.
Yeah, it's kind of emotional blackmail to me. I don't buy that stuff unless I really know I need it. I pretty much have everything I need to survive, so I don't need to go in there unless I'm actually looking for shoes that are my size or something. But in any case, let's move on now to the final paragraph. It says, one successful example of a pop-up store was when Nike launched its Air Max Zero sneakers. This is an example of a pop-up store. Nike, of course, is the famous shoe manufacturer. To launch something just means to begin a new business or a new product line. Hey, when's the product launch? That's when launch is being used as a noun, but here launch is being used as a verb. They launched their Air Max Zero sneakers. Sneakers are just any kind of athletic shoes. Some people say sneakers. Some people say tennis shoes. I say tennis shoes myself, even though they may not necessarily be used for tennis. They're just basically light athletic shoes.
Yeah, I say tennis shoes too, even though my sneakers or my athletic shoes aren't really for tennis. They're for jogging. I bought them to go running. Now, this was a successful event because, first of all, they made it short. So it's a 3-day event. So you think, oh, I got to hurry and go or I'll miss it, right? There's that fear of missing out. They attracted thousands of people because they had a very futuristic-looking shop. So that pop-up store was really well designed. Even though it was only for a short amount of time, they spent a lot of money to make it look cool. Futuristic looking means it looks like it's something out of a science fiction movie, maybe. And they also had lots of beautiful paintings that you could see and a shoe cleaning. They showed you how to clean your shoes, which I don't know how to clean tennis shoes, so that would have been interesting.
Yeah, my shoes must really smell bad. I'd like to have my shoes cleaned. Too bad I missed this event. But also many other big companies such as eBay and Gap. eBay, of course, is the online auction site, and Gap, of course, is famous for its modern clothes. They have used pop-up stores to great effect. Use something to great effect just means you've used something very successfully. You actually were able to be quite effective.
You had great results, you could say, right?
Sure.
So if you spot one during a shopping trip, Don't miss out. Run in before it leaves because it could be gone tomorrow.
I'll stop in and have a look-see, but I probably won't buy anything unless I really need it.
Yeah, you have to give yourself a talk and say, okay, I'm not going to buy anything unless I can't live without it. Because otherwise we end up spending too much money. Right now, though, we're going to listen to our Chinese teacher.
接着我们来看到在第3段的一刚开始句子写着 There are a number of advantages to pop-up stores. 这里提到呢，这种快闪店的优点很多。既然提到它的优点很多，后面就要举例咯。这一句比较简单。第3题我们可以选择 sentence F， 我们用 for one thing 开头，还有中间提到 for another， 这是用来举例其一怎么样，还有什么东西。我们来看一下 sentence F 提到 For one thing, the prices are generally lower than regular stores. And for another, they often sell goods that are unobtainable elsewhere. 好处的其一就是它的价钱比起一般的商店 regular stores 要来的比较低一些，而另外一个好处呢，就是卖的商品常常是在其他地方没有办法找到的，所以这就是列举它的好处。第3题的标准答案就选择 F 选项。第4个空格前面的句子提到 Customers are often excited by the idea of pop-up stores and are motivated by a fear of missing out. 为什么快闪店那么受欢迎呢？正因为顾客们对于这种快闪店的概念非常的兴奋，而且常常是怎么样激发了你想要买呢？正因为你会担心 missing out。Miss out 指的就是失去获得利益或者是乐趣的机会，你会害怕呢这种店一闪即逝，所以就会想要去买东西。延续这样的文意，第4题我们可以选择 sentence D Hence 前面说明原因为什么受欢迎，后面就说结果Hence, they are more likely to spend money at a pop-up store than a store that's open all year round. 所以因此呢，这些 they 指的就是 customers， 顾客呢比较有可能在快闪店里面花钱，比起呢在那种全年都开的店当中会花上更多的钱。所以第4题的标准答案我们就选择 D 选项。最后一句提到 Nike 他们也使用这种快闪店的概念来贩卖商品。第5个空格前面一句提到 Though it was only a 3-day event, Nike attracted thousands with a futuristic looking shop, plus displays of painting and shoe cleaning. 它呢搭配快闪的概念，吸引了成千上万的人，还提供了展出的画作跟清理鞋子的服务。Nike 是一家很大的商店，这样的策略马上就被其他人学起来了。所以第5题的空格我们可以选择 sentence E。Many other big companies such as eBay and Gap have used pop-up stores to great effect. 而呢起而效尤的其他很大的公司像是 eBay 或者是 Gap 也使用这样的快闪概念，然后得到最大的效益。第5题的正确答案就选择 E 选项。OK， 以上就是今天的课文讲解，谢谢收听。
That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and please pay attention to our lesson and don't spend so much time in a pop-up store. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.